Welcome to Start With Occupancy, the podcast for senior living owners, operators, and sales professionals. Hi, I'm Tiffany, marketing strategist and former corporate baddie who got tired of producing results for Wall Street and wanted to make a change on Main Street. I provide quick tips, idea nuggets, and case studies to help you with proven sales, marketing, and business development strategies along with leadership concepts, so that you can inspire change, impact lives, and improve outcomes for the aging, their families, and your teams. I'm committed to equipping you with the tools, the knowledge, and resources that you need to excel in your business. With over 12 years of experience working inside senior living companies, large and small, I've developed a deep passion for advocating for the aging adult and those who care for them, all while driving business growth. So whether you're already in the senior care industry or maybe you would like to be, if your mission is to serve them, my mission is to serve you. Join me as we unravel the strategies and tactics that drive success in your business while making a difference in someone's life. The goal in 2024 is to touch, guide, and impact the lives of 10 families per month. Are you with me? It's time to be inspired, gain practical tips, and own your future. Welcome, everybody. 2024 is here. Happy New Year. This is the first episode of Start With Occupancy in 2024. And boy, is it going to be a doozy, because I am going to share with you exactly some of the lessons that I learned in 2023 in my own business, starting this off again. Yes, I said again because technically 2023 was my second go around. And the missteps that I made, with the hopes that you can learn from my little missteps. And I don't say little that they were little, but I say little that, they might be mini lessons, right? And what I would like to do is pretty much set the scene for what 2024 is going to be, not just for the podcast, but for me in my way of serving you. Like, I want to serve you, and it's my heart's desire to help you to be successful in your business, taking care of aging adults and helping family caregivers to have resources and peace of mind and rest in their soul. If you know about family caregivers, you know that and if you've been one, you know that there's a lot that goes on into that. And it seems like things keep coming up. And so I feel like we in this industry, in this profession, are the water of refreshing for people. And that's how I viewed my role in senior care, and especially in senior living. There's so much that I want to share with you. So let's just talk real quick about the key milestones. This is what I'm going to say. Pivoting. So what I did that was right in my business when I first came out of corporate, and this is the first time, 2019, is I had in mind to serve sales professionals in the corporate arena because I knew how much they were suffering. I knew that they were lacking training, support, resources, I just overall. And the bigger company, because there is one huge company, does great with that. But the others do not. And even in that big company, yes, they have it. But if people don't know how to execute, it doesn't matter. You can have all their tools and resources around you, but if you do not know how to execute, it really doesn't matter. So that was my first go around. And of course, what would happen? Of course, COVID happened within 6 weeks of me starting my business. And so I went through that year learning about doing everything that I do online and learning all the intricacies of marketing and copywriting and social media management and all of that stuff. And then I was summoned to work for another company, which I did. And it was good when it was, and when it wasn't, it wasn't. We'll go there another episode. But the idea is that I started again, and 2023 was like a rebuilding. And of course, as everything happens in this industry of online and technology, everything changed from 2020 in 2023. So I had to almost relearn systems and processes and software and everything else. And so I did build out 5 websites, I think 6 actually. I did some trainings for people. I did audits for people, all these different things. But I pivoted my business from serving the corporate arena to serving what I call Main Street. And I pivoted by working with business owners and operators and people who have a heart to serve, but really are new to the industry, which is probably going to be most of you. When I started in corporate. I saw that there was a huge need, huge, and decided to pivot because I felt like I could have the bigger impact. And when you are in your business and you're coming out and you're saying, I'm going to serve seniors, I'm going to serve aging population in my neighborhood. And then you get out there and you realize, hey, I'm not getting the results that I need. I'm not getting all the move-ins that I should have and need to have in order to pay my bills. You might have to pivot. And not that you're going to pivot from serving seniors, but maybe pivot and niche down to what seniors you're going to serve, who you're going to serve, what is your messaging. You're going to hear me say that over and over again because I think that's important. I know, for instance, I could serve people who are looking at getting into senior living, but that's not my niche, right? Because that's licensing, that's an ALF consultant, that's doing not just the market research, which I'm well versed in doing, but it's also looking at funding, how to get funding, what are the regulations, and that is not what I do, right? I know the people I serve are senior living professionals, senior living owners who are brand new, or senior living owners and operators who've been in business for a while. And I've niched that down so that I can really hone in my messaging and the value of what I'm offering to those people. So that was my first lesson. The second lesson that I had in all of this is listening to my customers, right? Listening to what are their pain points and being able to pivot. Like when I first came out, I was going to do just all the trainings that I've done in corporate, just put it out there, make them into mini biteable courses and have corporate people just go on. But when I decided to pivot and I saw that there was a higher need and I saw what was out in the market, I said, you know what? A course is not going to do it because there's so much when you don't know senior living that it takes time. I used to tell my new salespeople when they would come on board and they would be so stressed and they're like, I want to learn everything. I want to learn everything. And I'm like, listen, I understand that you want to learn everything right now. I'm going to teach you how to have immediate impact where you are. But understand this business in sales and marketing is a 6 to 8 month learning curve. Like it is a learning curve because there's so much in this business that you're going to have to learn. And so that is what I want you guys to think about when you're going in. It is number one, okay that you don't know everything. It's quite okay. But there is a learning curve. So by listening to where people were struggling, even people that I talked to who had been open 2, 3, 5 years and still in some form or fashion struggling, I decided, you know what? There needs to be an incubator accelerator program. It's a hybrid. Technically, it's an accelerator, but because we're starting people off right at the time that they open, it's an incubator as well. The true definition of incubator is when the business is just an idea and it grows from there and you help them grow that idea into an actual business. That is your ALF consultant, right? By being in my program, yes, you can be at that stage with the understanding that that part of it in terms of the Licensing is going to be outsourced to an ALF consultant. The other part of the incubator is determining your business idea and making that into a reality is me, with the outsourcing of the legalities, technicalities to someone else. And then we have the accelerator side of it, which then is focused on growth, focused on how to operate and focus on growing your business. So I learned that there was a need in the market by listening to my clients. When you go out into that marketplace of yours as you're opening, like I said, you may have to pivot, but the only way to pivot is by listening to what the market is telling you. What is it that people are needing, and where's that gap and that hole that you can fill in your market area? So if there is like a zillion and one, which we all know there is of senior living or residential care homes in your area, where is there a gap? Where is there an opening? And sometimes the way to find that out is through discharge planners and adult daycare centers and things like that. Because by having conversations with people who are talking to those who have the need and where their troubles are in finding safe solutions for them, that's where the gap is. You know, I want you guys to think about that. The other thing that I am horrible at, can we say horrible? Is making quick decisions. I'm a muller. I mull over things. I'm so analytical, sometimes to the detriment of myself. Sometimes it's good because it allows what I feel is God developing something inside of me and speaking to me, because I really mull over things. But sometimes it's too much, and I will admit that. And a part of that is my perfectionistic tendencies. Don't judge me here, okay? I know there's some of you out there that can relate. But perfection is the enemy of progress. I have to remind myself, and that is my phrase for 2024. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Keep going, understanding that my goal is to be the most imperfect servant to you guys and to the ultimate one who's called me to do this work, right? So you can come along with me and journey in my imperfect servanthood. But the idea is that make quick decisions. Like, there's some things you need to, mull over, right? There's certain things that you want to think out thoughtfully, but there are other things that you want to be like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. You can't see, I'm snapping my fingers. Let's go. That is one of the things that I will say is something I'm going to work on this year. It's really making quick decisions on the non-essentials. I mull over every single detail, and it's because I'm so strategic in what I do, and I like to learn. I am, oh my God, I can't begin to tell you the hours of podcasts, the hours of books on Audible, all the stuff. I'm always, always, always learning. And when I'm in that learning phase and process, and some of you guys might be like this, then I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Bing. So then the squirrel thing happens, right? And I'm like, how can I implement that into what I'm doing? So now I'm mulling. How can I do this differently? What am I going to do here? Well, if I do this, and so there it goes down the whole rabbit trail. It's not so much doing the new shiny thing and just going with it. No, 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 no. It is taking that shiny thing. How do I make it more strategic? How do I make it where it's going to go into what I'm doing here? And it's just too much. Like, girl, sit down, sit down. So that is me. I admit to it. Don't make me feel like I'm alone. Somebody out there say, yeah, that's me too. Those are the three things: pivoting, listening to customers or your clients, and being quick to make a decision. My lessons learned in 2023. Going in 2024, what I would like to say is, what can you expect from me in this podcast? And how do I want to show up for you? And how do you want me to show up for you? Which is most important, right? These are the quick things I have in mind and that I have planned for you. And again, I'm willing to pivot. I'm willing to listen. And I'm willing to make quick decisions. So here it is. Case studies. I did a testing last November, I think it was, of doing a case study post in my social media. And the number of views and responses from that was high. So it showed me that that's a need. People want to see an example of what was done, how it was implemented, and what was the results, right? So I have case studies planned out. So far, I actually already have 30 case studies of things that I have done or have had my team do or one of my clients talk through so that you can have an example of a situation like, I want to get 5 move-ins next month. Here's a case study of what we did where somebody didn't make any move-ins the month before and now have 5 move-ins the next month. Like those type of things, right? So case studies is the first thing. The second thing is quick tips. It's called by Thrive in 5. It will be video and audio, and that will be also on the YouTube channel, as well as on the new website. Ding, ding, ding. I'll let you guys know about that. So these are 5-minute, quick, biteable training tips for you that's going to help you to thrive in your business. Not just for 2024, because that's so cliche right now, because it is January, but just in your business, right? And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned case studies is called Raising the Bar, because I want you guys to know the series. So when I put it out there and I'm saying this in my social media, you know what it is. So Raising the Bar is my segment. That's case studies. The Thrive in 5 is going to be the quick tips, which will be in YouTube and social media. Okay. Ask me anything Q&As. I have tested this out and there are people who have questions. I am actually utilizing my Facebook group to field these questions. So if you're not a part of my Facebook group, join the Facebook group. It's called Start with Occupancy, a mentorship community, because that's what it is for. It is to mentor you through this business. That is the whole idea. So if you go to Facebook, Start with Occupancy, under the group heading, and it'll tell you all the groups, and you say Start with Occupancy, a mentorship group, that is where you can go and send me these questions. You can send them anywhere if you're not on Facebook, through like social media, Instagram. You can find me on YouTube, whatever have you. Send me those questions because those are the questions that I'm going to answer in the podcast. Haven't figured out the format, if I'm going to like do a question each time and a quick answer, or if I'm going to have just a whole episode of questions. Don't know. You guys give me your feedback. What do you like? What do you want to see? Right? And then there is the mindset. When you are a business owner, man, oh man, there is times of isolation. There are times of depression. Okay. All right. Not depression, but you're just like, what did I just do here? There are times where you're just unsure of yourself, and that is okay. That is quite okay. And so I feel like as you're going along this journey, I need to tell you, even working in senior living, how, for instance, I thought I sucked so bad. I was like, I don't do this well. My community is only at 98.9%, and everybody's ahead of me. Like, I was really kind of on the crazy side because the messaging from my leaders was, what, you don't have another one? What, you don't have another half a unit? What, you didn't get a move in? What happened to these people? It was so much so that I like took that stuff so seriously and would go home and think I suck and I would be down on myself. And it wasn't until somehow or another I got access to all of the other communities, something like 400 something in the company, and what their occupancy was. And I think it was something that they had given out, and all the occupancy of every community was there. Mind you, I had already been working in this company and in my seat for over a year, thinking that I was the suckiest salesperson ever, only to find out, holy cow, there's communities at 30%, 40%, 70%. Like, there's whole districts that the highest the whole district is at is 68%. And I'm thinking, what? Then I find out we are the third highest occupied district in the whole company. And here I am going home feeling like I am a worthless piece of trash. So crazy. But I didn't know. I didn't know. So this is where one of those examples of what you don't know can kill you. So I feel like it is my give back to give to you to say, listen, I understand where you're at. And let's get you through this. Let's get you through this time. Let's help you to see tomorrow and reframe your mind, because success starts in your mind, not in your action. So I just want you guys to know that. The one thing I have not had a name for, so I don't know, daily dose of motivation is just what it is. And I say daily dose, it's just a dose. I don't even know if it's daily. It might just be, sprinkled in something that I'm struggling with or something I see someone else. And I just am going to encourage you guys because that's just who I am. Lastly, this is a thought, and I don't know if you guys would like it, but one of the services that I do provide is a marketing plan audit, right? What is your marketing plan? I do these audits, and with people's permission, I can ask them the questions and just their voice. It doesn't have to identify who they are. Record it so that, it can be heard, so that people can hear others who are struggling like them, what some of the challenges are, and then you guys can understand what some of the questions I ask. If you would like an episode of knowing those questions that I ask, because if I'm going to do an audit, these are the questions that if you don't know, maybe this will help you get clarity in what you're doing and why you're getting the results. So even off record, maybe by hearing the questions will help you to come up with your own answers and be able to solve your own problems. That is the goal, right? Is to really help you to be successful and be able to know what you're doing and how to solve those problems. I don't have a name for that yet, but if you think of one and if you think that would be something that's good, give me the feedback. Definitely. So that is what the plan is for this podcast. I wanted to give you guys an expectation of what you're subscribing to and to really understand my heart and understand the transparency. Like, I'm just going to be real with you guys. I'm going to be real. There's a lot of fluff that's like, oh, you can make this amount of money and this and that. And I get it. And yes, we all have to be profitable. We all have to have a decent living. But having the financial side without having the human side, the struggle side, I don't know. I'm just a realist. That is who I am. And I say I'm a realist. Technically, I'm not. I'm more of an optimist, but I'm a strategist. Like, I want to know it all so I can make sure that I do a good job and that I am a success. So with that, the fluff without the reality of what it takes to make that happen is not, I feel like I'm doing a disservice. So what you're going to get from me is the real, the deal, the everyday. That's just what you're going to get from me. Okay. I know I told you guys I love feedback. The way that you can give me feedback on this and other episodes as they come out is by giving me a rating. That helps with the algorithm. It helps with other people to see what this podcast is about and how effective it is for you. You can put your review inside of it, especially on Apple Podcasts. That will help out. And the other way that you can help with this particular podcast and this portion of the business of what I'm doing is by sharing it with others in the industry. Like, I am the person that's about collaboration. The industry is growing. There is a need. Why let family caregivers out there suffer because you think that you have to get all the business? I'm going to let that sit right there. There's people out there who are doing this business, doing this job, who are trying to serve families. And by us, you, me, whoever, gatekeeping, resources and things to help them to thrive, technically, you're also gatekeeping it from families. My mission this year is to help you touch 10 families per month. That's what I want to see happen. I want 10 families per month by you to be touched, guided, or given resources. And because by doing that for them, guess what you're going to get in return? I think it was Jim Rohn who said, if you help enough people to get what they want, you will automatically get what you want. You just have to help enough people. So the question to you today is, right, how many people have you helped? And if in the last 6 months you say, well, I've only helped 6 families, well, there's the occupancy issue, right? You have to help more. And that's the goal and the focus. And so my goal and focus is to help 30,000 families. Well, how do I help 30,000 families? I need 5 people from every single state to talk to 10 families every single month. And that is how I'm going to help 30,000 families. That is it. Very simple, very plain. It's nothing but math. That's my analytical, overarching, mulling over brain. And how did I come with 30,000? It came to me. I can't tell you. I don't know. It was just like, I want to help 30,000 families. I don't know where it came from. So that's what happened, is just 30,000 families. If I help 5 business owners in every single state to help 10 families. And I said that to myself, and I said, Tiffany, how are you going to do that? What business owner all the way in Alaska is going to know about you? And do you not know? Because when I made this commitment, to be honest, it was in December of 2020. And this has been in my heart burning since then. So that just goes to show you that when you're given something, you persistence. We can talk about that. That's a whole nother episode. But that's what it was. And I was like, I almost discounted it as soon as it came in my head. I said, 30,000 families. How am I going to do that? And how am I going to have somebody all the way in Alaska know about me? And do you not know? Within 2 weeks, it might have been less than that, I had someone who had a home in Alaska. She's a nurse, and she was looking to buy an assisted living in Alaska and reached out to me. And we started talking, and her questions were like, how do I know this is a good investment deal? And what should I be looking at in terms of their financials? And we went through that analysis, and here it is. Like I had just said, Alaska. So number one, your words mean something. That was my lesson. And don't discount the calling. Don't discount that idea in your head that that goes so deep inside your heart that you're supposed to do, because your job is to answer the call. Someone else's job is to equip it. All right. That's a word for some of you guys out there. So anyway, I just want to say thank you. I encourage you for giving me the feedback. Share this episode so that we can achieve that goal of 30,000 families this year in 2024. I would like nothing more than December 31st of 2024 to say, hey guys, we did it. We did it. And how do we do that? Is by, keeping track. And there's a whole nother episode about that. The other thing that I mentioned or alluded to earlier is there's a new website. It is coming out today. It's not going to be complete because remember, perfection is the enemy of progress. So there are still things being built on it, but I want it to be out there for you to see because I want to practice what I preach. So is all the links working? No. I'm going to be honest. It's not going to. I hope it will. It may not. But is there or will there be some things that you can link to that will give you the stuff that you're needing? Yes. So the website is startwithoccupancy.com. That is the branding, obviously, of the podcast. That is the branding of the Facebook group. That is the branding of the Impact Hub. It is going to be a hub of learning just for you. So what does that mean for you? That means that if you're wanting, either through free and paid, depending on where you are financially, and what you have decided to invest in yourself for your growth, you have this hub. And this hub is going to give you some trainings. Like, again, I'm not trying to gatekeep anything. The things that are more hands-on, that's going to take my time, my team's time, my coach's time, that's going to be paid, like the incubator program called Compass Rose XL. So if you want to go to Compass Rose XL, That is the incubator/accelerator hybrid program. But the impact hub is called Start with Occupancy. And that is where you can go to, and it will link you to the Facebook group, the YouTube videos, the Thrive in 5 videos, the newsletter, the blogs. Like, that is where you're going to find everything senior living, including independent living, assisted living, and memory care. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope you have a beautiful, prosperous 2024. I pray that you can come with me as we're going through this together, that my progress in serving you will inspire you to make progress in your business to serve families and aging adults. With that, I sign out and say goodbye until next time.